I thought you were joking when you said come and do some comedy. I really was.
You know what? It's funny, when I first came and asked this, I don't know why, right? God is so good, right? Because I came to this guy and I said, hey man, do you know any comedians? And he goes, yeah, I know a couple. He started naming all these guys, right? And I didn't know any of them. And then finally, he tells me, well, I do a little bit, you know? And I'm like, dude, like, you should have just said it was you. You know, but you know what, God is good, but I've seen some of this stuff, and so we got a couple times to... We did a video together, yeah, it was really funny.
We're supposed to watch a video on YouTube.
Yeah, I think so. Go for it.
Yeah, normally I don't get mistaken for a comic, you know, I get mistaken for the IT guy. You guys are probably thinking, you know, something wrong with the computer system here, or something wrong with the equipment, you know? No, I'm actually the comedy guy here, so thank you, Manuel. My name is Shailesh, just to give you a little bit of a background, actually give you my name. It rhymes with stylish. I get asked a lot how to say it. My wife came up with that rhyming word. We've been married for a few years now, 20 years to be exact. It rhymes with stylish, you don't use the T, and you get 50 tries, and I don't keep count, so I'm very relaxed about it. So that's a little bit about me. We moved here from Arizona, and when we moved here, I don't know, have you guys been keeping track of the weather in Arizona? Anybody? It's been 110 for pretty much all of July, and it's been 115 for the last 6 days counting, I believe. So people ask me, how did you survive it, you know? And we were there 16 years. We were there for a church plant, church crew, but we stuck around. So they asked us, how did you deal with the heat? And I always say, you know, it's not too bad after the skin melts and the flesh kind of withers away and it's just the bone. It's just the bone. It's a dry heat, folks. It really is a dry heat. So it's not too bad. Try it sometime. You know, go on vacation. So I played a lot of soccer, you know, to break some stereotypes. Do I look like a soccer guy? Come on, guys. Do I really? Maybe I could play forward now. But I was really good. I was actually, I'm probably going to date myself, but I was so good. Do you guys remember Maradona? Who remembers Maradona? Diego Maradona. Nobody knows Diego Maradona? That guy does. Diego Maradona. 1986 World Cup. Hand of God goal? Nobody knows? Wow, I'm at the wrong place. You know? So yeah, I was told that I was the next Diego Maradona. And I was actually that good, but then I had my injury in first grade. And then I was just never the same. You know, I injured my ankle in first grade, and that was it for me. So, you know, I had to kind of retire after that. So yeah, that's my little soccer story. And then, yeah, like I said, I've been married 20 years. My wife, she's here. It makes me very nervous that she's here. But she grew up in a very Christian home. She grew up as a missionary kid. I think she was saved in the delivery room, right? You were saved in the delivery room, probably, right? I grew up in a non-Christian home, so I became a Christian later. And after we got married, I was just reading the Bible like crazy. You know, it was the best thing in the world. I was learning all this stuff about the Bible. We were doing a Revelation Bible study, you know, and then it was just, Revelation in itself is hard to understand, right? And then one day I came home from work and I couldn't find her. And I thought, oh my goodness, did Jesus come? Did I get left behind? Did the rapture happen? I was going through the house looking for her because I really thought that the rapture had happened. So yeah, we work together. We have a business, and she is technically the CEO. Not technically, she is the CEO of the business. I am the vice president.
You're right.
You know, story of every man's life. I live the story of every man's life. And the funny thing about, you know, it's great working with her. I really do enjoy working with her. But when I work with her, because we have a company, we have about 8 people on staff, so a pretty decent sized company for a small business. And what's weird is I'm in the weird spot that I can't complain to my boss about my wife, and I can't complain to my coworkers about my wife, right? So when I have a bad weekend and I go into work and there's nobody to talk to, I just gotta suck it up. I can't say anything. I can't say anything. It's really quite a difficult situation to be in. But we've had some interesting days. She does a lot of the front-facing stuff, you know, and I do a lot of the back-end stuff, as you could probably imagine. I write all the proposals and she presents it and wins the business. There was this one time where, you know, we had this big client prospect and she was excited about it, I was excited about it. It was going to be a big deal, and so she had given me a task to write the proposal, and I wrote the proposal, and at 2:30, the day before, she and I had a meeting, and she put on her big boss hat on, you know, she's like tearing everything out, like, okay, this doesn't make sense, redo this, swap this out, this case study won't work, all this kind of stuff. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is really uncomfortable for me, you know, because tomorrow's the presentation. And so she leaves, like typical boss, like a TV boss, you know, it's like, okay, get it done, go. I need it by tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. And then she's out. And so I sit there, and I'm sweating, and I work, and I work, and I work, and I got everything done. It's about 5:30, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be late going home because it's, you know, downstairs. You know, it's far. It's far. Our stairs are slippery. If you've been to our house, our stairs are slippery. Those wood, you know, you can slip, so you gotta go slow. So I finally made it downstairs, and it's chaos, man. I mean, kids all over the place, you know. Dinner's not ready, you know, because I'm technically I'm still a husband. I'm coming home to work, right? I'm coming home right from work, and it's all. And then I lock eyes with my wife. She's like, "Where were you? Why are you late?" I'm like, "What? Just 3 hours ago, you tore everything up, and then I just made me late. That's why I'm late. Don't you get it?" But I couldn't say that. I had to kind of say, "Well, I just had to get stuff done." The funny thing is I make that IT joke, but early in our marriage, she really did treat me like her personal IT guy, you know, and we were really, you know, young married. This is Windows, you know, XP or maybe 98 days, you know, so kind of dating myself. And then back then, newly married, right? Any newly married people here? No newly married people here? Okay. So she would say, "Oh, I got this problem, can you fix this?" And I'd run over with all my love in my eyes. Okay, move over, and I fix it, you know, and then I go over, like, oh, I did something great. Over the years, that kind of gets a little old, right? And so now, our offices aren't that far apart. I can always tell when she's having problems on her computer, when she can't figure something out, the sigh, the, why isn't this working? And then my phone rings, and I'm saying, I see it's her. So nowadays I just answer and say, "Technical support, how can I help you?" Might as well play the game. And I will be honest, 90% of the time, I don't know how to fix it. So I'll just say, "Can I put you on hold, please?" And then I Google it. How many guys have done that? How many people have done that? We all do that, right? Especially that gets you husband points right there. You Google it, right? Now it's AI. You can even ask, you know, ChatGPT, how do you fix this? And it gives it to you. And then I call her back and say, "Thank you for being on hold." And then I give her the answer, and she's happy, right? And then at the end, I always say, "Can you please answer a brief survey after this call? That would really help me with my boss. You know, my boss would really enjoy this." And then I hang out, right? So we try to have fun, because working and living together, I mean, we're joined at the hip. I mean, we never get away from each other, you know? So I'm just glad I love her. I hope she loves me. She stuck around, so I think she does. But I do have 4 kids. I have 4 kids, and I have the privilege of being a dad to 4 daughters. 4 daughters, right? So that's a story in and of itself. And just the other day, I was doing landscaping, and I injured my thumb. I got a little splinter, and I went looking for Band-Aids, and all the Band-Aids have flowers on them. So this is my reminder that I am a girl dad, right there. This thumb right here with these flowery Band-Aids. There's no other Band-Aids, all flowers. You know? So when we just had 3 daughters, we went to the mall, and the oldest was 6, and then it was 6, 4, and 2. So that was the age difference at the time, ages at the time. And then I was at the mall, and the wife's shopping, and I'm sitting in the front, like, right, guys, that's what we do. We sit in the front. I was watching the kids, and then this elderly gentleman just comes down, and he looks at me, and then he looks at the 3 daughters, right? Girl, 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 and then just looks at me again, and then he says, "Forgot to change gears, huh?" And then he just walks away. And I thought, wait, there's a gearbox? Because I know how to drive a shift, right? There's a gearbox somewhere that you can change, apparently. I couldn't figure it out. I'm very thick. Even though I have a pretty technical degree, I'm pretty thick. I still had a girl. 4th is still a girl, so I still don't know where that gearbox is. And of course now I have a few that are teenagers. Being a teenager, 3 teenage daughters at home. And so I go downstairs to wake them up at 11 o'clock in the morning. Because, in the summer, that's what teenage girls and boys do. And I go and I whisper, "Please wake up." What happened to my baby? What happened to those cute little girls where they used to say, "Oh, you're such a lucky man"? Now it's like, everything dad says gets, I don't know how that is going to end or where that is going to end. So yeah, it's been interesting. I mean, sometimes, they say, buy a shotgun. And I still don't know why you need to buy a shotgun. These girls are very capable. I don't know. I do go to a firing range and practice with guns every once in a while, but I still haven't bought a shotgun. So that's a little different side story there. But I did get some pretty interesting surgeries done over my life. This one's a really interesting story for you guys. When I was 3, this is my mother's story, right? When I was 3, when she was taking me out of a cab, I apparently hit my left temple against the car door, and there was a little bit of a bump there. That's my mom's side of the story. Right? And then she saw the bump, and she said, it's small, and she just ignored it, right? And then over the years, it got a little bit big, not too big, but she just thought, oh, whatever. We went to the doctor once, and they said it was some blood stuff. As I became an adult, it got bigger and bigger. It was actually starting to pull my glasses to the side. So in my late 20s, early 30s, I thought, I got to get this taken care of. So I went to the doctor. Doctor did some tests, and he came back with this really serious. Well, we tested for the cancer. It wasn't any of that stuff, so it was good. Sat me down and he says, "You were supposed to be a twin." I said, "Excuse me." This is a real condition. I don't remember the name of this condition. You might be able to Google this, but apparently the cells didn't divide properly, and my twin got stuck here. And he said, it has hair, and it has teeth, and it's growing. No joke, no joke. It was right here. My twin was living with me, living in me. Right? And I thought it was a joke. Have you guys seen the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding?
Yes.
It has that in there, right? You remember that scene? I thought maybe the guy was joking, but no, doctors don't make jokes, right? Doctors don't make jokes, at least not in those kinds of settings. And so I went home and I was really, really nervous because I had just been born again a few years, and it was kind of scary to me to do that removal. So I went to the pastor and said, "Is this abortion? Do I have to be worried about this? Am I doing anything wrong? So fortunately, our pastor has a sense of humor. And he said, "No, go get the surgery. Go take care of yourself." So that was a little bit nerve-wracking. And then I went back and I told the doctor, "Yeah, I'll get the surgery." And then he said, "Because it's on the face, we're going to have to do plastic surgery." I thought, oh man, this is awesome. I've not always been this good looking. I have been worse looking than this. This is the good version of what you guys are seeing. You know, so I got plastic surgery done on my face too. So I'll tell people that I recently met, yeah, I wasn't always this good looking. I got some fixes, I got plastic surgery and things like that. And then I have a liposuction story. You know? but that's for a different day. I'm still working on that one. It was just recently I got liposuction done. It was interesting. So my kids don't know.
Like, don't.
But they're laughing because I didn't get enough time to kind of practice this joke yet. But next time you guys will have to come to the second show to watch this joke. So anyway, plastic surgery, liposuction. You know, this IT guy is kind of, you know, it's kind of a self-made man here. So yeah. Well, if you look at my T-shirt, I don't know if can you guys read my T-shirt? Some people thought that it was in a different language. It's actually in English. If you look at it carefully, right? It's just English scripts made into like Nepalese scripts. Kind of creative, right? So I'm from Nepal, and I go back and forth fairly often. I would say once or twice, no, not a year, every 2 years or 1 year I go back. And back, about 6 months or so, 7 months after 9/11, I had gone back to Nepal, and when I was in Nepal, there was this big have you guys seen Bollywood movies? Anybody seen Bollywood movies? Yeah, Bollywood musicals. They're not real movies. They're just full of music, right? And there was this, oh man, it's one of my all-time favorite movies. Just from a couple of songs. They had this really, really good song, and it went like this. It went, you worship people are probably gonna, kill me for the singing. I'm not gonna sing, because the only places that I've been invited to sing is the nursing home, the hearing impaired department. That's where I would be invited to sing. Those places, not here. I don't think I'll ever be invited to sing here. But anyway, this song was Ye Ladki Hai Allah, Hai Hai Re Allah, right? That was the chorus. And it went Ye Ladki Hai Allah, Hai Hai Re Allah, and then there was the girl would sing Ye Ladka Hai, Ladka is boy, Ye Ladka Hai Allah, Hai Hai Re Allah. It's Hindi, right? And so that was really catchy. And so I bought the CD. This is back when they had CDs. I bought CDs. I bought the CD. I had a CD player. I had a 24-hour flight ahead of me, like 16. It's long, So my connection was in Amsterdam. So I was in Amsterdam and I was flying to Chicago. At the time I was in Wisconsin, so I was flying to Chicago. And the plane's about to take off, and right before landing, I was like, I haven't listened to that song in a few hours. I'm going to listen to that song. I put the song on, and I'm listening to it. It's really fun, catchy song. Do a Google search. And then I started singing it. I don't normally sing. I'm like, I knew the words pretty well by then, and I'm singing, Ye Ladki Hai. And then all of a sudden I noticed everybody on the plane that were around me were starting to look at me. Remember, this is 7 months after 9/11. Brown guy on a plane, right? On a plane, young guy, right? And all they heard me sing was Allah, 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 Allah. That's all they heard me sing. And then I looked around. I got really nervous. I'm like, I want to make this flight. I don't want to miss this flight. So I looked around everybody and I said, no. Technical support. Technical support. That's all I said. I'm trying to make that connection that I'm not the blower guy, I'm the phone guy. Right? So anyway, that's all I have today, folks. So thank you so much.
Well, I guess, come on, good man. I guess I better start answering those text messages that you send me, right? Yeah, you have a complaint, but I'll do it later.